Okay, we are going to talk about how to get people to think you're smart. And you can really trick a lot of people with this, and it's really simple. Okay? I've been doing it for years. All you have to do is be quiet. That's like 90% of it. Because if you think about it in your own life, when was the last time you ran into somebody who was like very quiet, very shy, very reserved, whatever, and they were just an idiot? Like, it doesn't happen very often. I'm sure it's happened, but like, on the large part, we tend to treat people who reserve themselves from constantly spewing nonsense. We tend to treat them as a little bit more intelligent, and that actually bears itself out a fair amount of the time. So all you have to do to convince people that you're smart is be quiet most of the time, right? When you do have to speak, be willing to say, I don't know, instead of making shit up, right? Because if you make shit up, people generally will see through it. Like, there's caveats to this. If you are like genuinely like a lot smarter than the people around you, which I pretty much never am, you can bullshit your way through like all of this, and this doesn't really apply. But if you're not, and you're trying to trick people, which can happen on purpose or can happen by accident. I would say for me it happens by accident because I'm never inclined to speak that much. But if you just don't make stuff up, if you are presented with a question, you don't know the answer, you say, I don't know. And then when you speak on something, keep it short, keep it concise, keep it simple, because if you try to just like launch around giant words that you don't properly or fully understand, people are going to key into that. I guess my point with all of this is people will see through you if you give them something to see through, right? If you are trying to portray yourself dishonestly, people will pick up on that vibe unless you're really, really good at it, which I'm not, which I think most people are not. So instead of that, portray yourself honestly, and people, to some extent, will take that honesty as a measure of intelligence, which maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it'll work better for you. So who's looking the gift horse in the mouth here? So in summary, all you gotta do is be quiet and portray yourself honestly in all respects, and that means not deepening your voice, that means not changing the words you would otherwise use, unless you would speak in like aggressive slang, then maybe tone that down. But for the most part, just being honest in your self-portrayal. And if you do those two things, regardless of the actual content of what you're saying, again, to a point, people are going to give you a lot more leeway, both in how agreeable you are to be around and in how intelligent they think that you might be. So that might be correct, or it might be incorrect, and it might be something that you're doing purposefully, or it might be a nice quirk of your personality that works in your favor. But in my anecdotal experience, it does work that way. And that's it. That is it for me today. And I will be back tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after, and the day after until Friday. And as always, if you watch this and you have something you want me to talk about, you have some argument you got some bone to pick with me, or I don't know what the opposite, I don't know what like the cooperative version of bone to pick is, but whatever that is, you want to do that, say something, then I'll talk about it. And that's it.